nva mu ghetto nina HIV teyagenda kumpa muliro. Ekisooka ojja mugamba, for example bigenze nga applyinga alabako address Kamwokya tonywa njaga HIV ngenda kumanaginga nti ekitegeera tolwaze bakozi bange. Are you getting that shit? Ojja okola to fainting. Ninga go you feel yourself you can do everything.
Live with Simon Chris Makanga. We are back. Thank you so much for the comments. Thank you so much for the subscription and the likes. My guest tonight is a young man with huge talents and lots of responsibilities. He's a team leader, Ghetto network of young people living with HIV advocate for young people, an award winner for the best youth empowerment in the ghetto. He's a Give Love ambassador, community mobilizer, an MC and HIV advocate. He's a condom ambassador. Byaruhanga Henry McKenzie.
Yes.
It's a pleasure to have you on Live with Simon Chris Makanga.
It's a pleasure to be with you, Simon.
How did you know that you were born with HIV?
I was born in 1995. Growing up on medication, not knowing reasons behind my medication. I got to know my status when I was 14 years. Because by then I was just in senior one. And that was when I was in PG, because when you're growing, you have to know every reason behind your roots. Because one of the reasons why I had to know the reason behind my medication. So it was a good chance because I had grown very well, because I grew up going to the health centers that give treatment to HIV. So I stopped mom because I lost my dad. I've been raised up by a single mom. And I used this chance to know my status and the reason behind my medication. I asked mom, can you stop escorting me to the hospital? Because whenever she used to take me to the hospital, she could stop me to ask the reason behind my medication, but I was at the right age. I had to know all the reason, and she was like, it's fine, you can go. Not knowing that I will have to know the reason behind my medication. I reached to the health center, talked to the counselors, and the counselors also ignored to give me the right answer, because they were like, how can you reach the age of 15 years without you knowing why you're taking your medication? That gave me a special day, and that was a day out for all these young people who were on the medication. And it was a Saturday, it was a peer support day, and then I found 16 buses. By then we were going to Garuga for some more capacity building. So on the way, with these young people I had met, because there were 16 buses, you know the number of having 16 coasters at the Ose Center. So I was like, maybe we're going for a concert, or maybe it's like a festival. And I used this opportunity meeting up with other young people who also laughed at me, because I asked them, you people are also taking the medication that I don't know? And then they were like, you don't know you're HIV positive. And then it shocked me. I was like, Kawa, let me first go with them, chill, see. But having a lot of questions. But
so how did you tell your mother?
We had to come back. We had to come back because you have to. When you're back, you have to show some experience that you've seen where you've been. When you're at school. Mommy, I'm from Didi's world. This has happened. And then for me, I was like, Mom, we are back. I had fun. And why have you been hiding, telling me that I'm HIV positive, or I was born HIV positive? Yet it was a simple answer, because I've met young people who are like me, but they are health center. And then she was like, okay, it's fine, because I've known your status. But on my side, still it was a big thing, because by then I was in school. And friends with the health center, because I had met a new area code for these people who are like me, who could give me comfort, because we could meet every month, on Saturday, second Saturday of the month.
So after you telling your mother, were you still staying here in Kamoche?
Yeah, I was with my mom.
Here in Kamoche. So how would you rise up to the point of you wanting to be an ambassador and advocate for people living with HIV? How does that interest start?
Me meeting up my young fellow people who are living with HIV. By then it was a holiday. I was going to senior one, and that was in PG. First time in boarding section, whereby the warden used to keep my medication. I had not got that esteem to disclose to my classmates or the dorm mates, whereby mom had to pay for that, keeping my medication to the warden, and it was kind of hurting me because I was like, man, I'm HIV positive, how am I going to survive? But during the day when it's getting night, your fellow dorm mates, they used to see me like it was a private thing.
But let me first take you back there, McKenzie. Now, like after you knowing and did you forgive your mother and did you move on?
At the end of the day, in sense of humanity, I knew what mom first was passing through that experience, because at the end of the day, I didn't want her to feel the depression, because dad also died of HIV. At the end of the day, like towards my story, as I discovered that I was born HIV positive. So a lot happened there. It was a long situation, but I had to forgive mom, because she made me grow up like a normal kid. You know,
She tried to make you grow like a normal child.
Yeah, she tried her level best. And I also had that sense of maturity. Though by that period, I reached some time and doing that some bad peer pressures in the group. Because, man, it was a long story on my side. Because I had to make mama happy. And still I have to make her proud. Because I had known the real story. So I had to move on with my life, because I didn't just wake up and
So
be
did
like,
you continue with the medication?
I continue with my medication very well, and even currently I'm on suppression. You cannot detect that I'm on HIV. I do take 1 tab a day within 24 hours. So I'm living positively and strong, but I didn't just wake up and be like, let me be a condom ambassador. It was also a process. Experiencing this community of HIV and the blah, 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 because I had first to be mobilized in the peer group, in the peer support meetings, those meetings that I told you about. I took a chance and then started taking some leaderships in their categories. So I had even this thing that I can make something better in my community. We can disclose and live a free life, so I have to be an example. So that's the reason why I'm living positively, because I lost a lot of friends every year. I lose friends due to HIV, self-discrimination, little things kill our community of people living with HIV. There are just few things that kill people living with HIV. And look at the ghetto. There are like 4 main diseases that are killing the ghetto. We have malaria, we have TB, we have HIV, we have mental health issue. So how can we fight that? We shall not wait for our political leaders to do that part. First of all, it starts with you and it begins with you. So it's a long journey on my side, because I didn't just wake up. It's just a process. It's just a process. And like when it comes to times of relationships, I've met some challenges there.
That's what I wanted to know. You were a young man and a woman would feel attracted to you. How would you deal with relationships?
Relationships, let me first begin with this, whereby I know how many times a year or how many times months I share my body with a female gender, because sex is part of like how to reveal mental health issues, and it's one of the exercises that couples do. And taking you back, one of my first date, she was HIV positive, and she was not all suppressed to disclose her status, and unfortunately she died. She was one of my first friends I met. And of course, for her, she knew her status, and she had a clique, whereby they were also HIV positive.
So who told the other? Did she tell you that she was positive?
She told me she's positive and her friends are HIV positive. And they also laughed at me. How can you be at the age of 15 years and you don't know the reason behind your treatment? She was the first person I dated. And I had become some celebrity in that network, because even some girls like crushed on me. And in school, I remember dating a girl who was negative, and I think she gave birth to a girl of 7 years called Baby Miracle.
Your
She's
child?
Yeah, HIV negative free.
So the mama, the mother to your child is HIV negative. And your
But
child,
the first cat I dated, she was HIV positive.
and your child is also negative. How does it make you feel?
It makes me feel good, because I know how to protect my blood, and because I told her later on, and after a date of like 2 years, 3 years, because I was like, I had reached time when I'm like strong, let me start disclosing publicly. Because I was like, man, because was the time I told her that I'm HIV positive, she was like, with McKenzie, you're joking, you're always joking, how can you stop, why can't you stop that nonsense? And even I bought my tabs, and then she was like, those are for your friends, she said, get it. I was like, okay, Kawa, Kastai, we've tested, you're negative, we've been having sex, you're negative. Let God do his will.
And you're still having sex with her?
Currently, we're not in relationships
Why?
with her. Some issues came in, because it was early marriage, because I was 17 years, she was 16. The other side of their family, they brought in some issues because they had started seeing me on TV, and it's a Muslim family. How can you bring in a husband or a mko who is HIV? They have that segera. So, inshallah, but I always meet my kid. But normally as a man, sex, kawakabutonde.
McKenzie, you are an advocate for young people living with HIV in the ghetto.
Yeah.
How is it like to live with HIV in the ghetto, especially here in Kamocha?
Man, it's a different thing, because dropping out from school, getting to the community, you have to get like a small money to
Nedda tudde mu lulimi lwe tutegeera Oluganda, because tugenda kwogera ku bulamu bw'omwana ali mu ghetto. Njagala onsiigire ekifaananyi. Gw'oyinza okuba olabika bulungiko, naye gye tuyise yonna yonna, ndabye omwana, ate nga bwe tusoma figures eziva Ministry ya Health ne AIDS Commission ziraga nti new infections zeeyongedde 5,200.
ekifaananyi kye nnyina.
Kisiigire ekifaananyi ky'omwana ali mu ghetto akula naye ng'alina akawuka
Ate talina information. Ekifaananyi saa zino we are living in a difficult situation, because saa zino twakava mu COVID. And one of the things that motivated me to come back in this field of HIV, it was of the situation that we are facing, whereby nva mu ghetto nina HIV, tulyagenda kumpa mulimu. Ekisooka ojja mugamba, for example, gyenze nga applyinga, alabako address Kamucha, tonywa njaga, HIV ngenda kumanaginga nti ekitegeera tolwaze bakozi bange. Are you getting the shit? Ojjaba okola tofainting. Ninga gwe you feel yourself you can do everything. Tulina abaana bali HIV nga basobola okusama omupiira, basobola okukuba ebikonde, babokisa. Need you because they are having HIV. They can't give them those opportunities to participate. Omwana ali awo alina akawuka ke, ava mu ghetto, awulira yagayingira mu magye, tebamukkiriza. Omwana alina akawuka ke, ayagagenda bino kuba kyeyo. It's not permitted. Whereby ekifaananyi kyeyinza okukuleetera. We are denied some rights in the sector of health. Because n'amalwaliro gennyini agatwa HIV treatment gatusosola ndwadde omusujja baganya okunzijanjaba. Funye TB, sifunye treatment emala. Nina HIV, endya sinungi, nsibira kikomando. Ekitegeera, we don't know our rights. Kitegeera nga tuli bulala. Once it comes to mental health, agende ekiruddu bamukuba empiso. Ava mu ghetto tulina kyagala tuyamba. Azanyidde ku ddagala kiruddu. No cares that the government is doing. Tukoma bulaba bulango. Omwana omuto ku myaka 13 abeera maama 13 afunye akawuka. Talina information yonna. Imwe kumabira ku TV tebiri mu ghetto. Twagala tufune health center nga yaffe abavubuka bo mu ghetto. Twagala tuwenga tusolving other ghettos mu ggwanga. Toyinza kungamba 5,000 new infections every week. Nga ku myaka 13 omwana akafuna. Omwana ku myaka 13 abeera afuka taata. Nitamanyi early marriage. Wasanga ka stress depression tamanyi yayinza kola ki. Bikakanya. So we have a bad picture here in the ghetto because we don't have anyone who can speak for us. Bakulanga talina makulu. Kitegeera. So it's a bad picture. Because the statistics that it was taken zeggwanga. This is what the new infections from the ghetto.
Temuzirabako.
Tetuzirabako. Nkola HIV testing mu community. Amaliro genkozeko nago bafuna new infections babaleka mu community. Nga testing bana ina akawuka. Tebadda kulondoola. Era bagulekera gwe mobilizer mu community. Is it a good picture? No kulekera omuntu ogwo. Nga bali kuyambeko aba centers asobola okujja okukebeza afunye namba ye gyayagala kitegeera takomyewo akoze bukozi report yafunye sente.
So nga gwe omukulembeze abantu obagamba ki? The young boys abaana abato mu ghetto
nze kati nganze
kiki kyokozeewo?
Sikoze nganze nzekka. I'm ghetto network of young people living with HIV. Twegattagatta ngaffe, because the best thing that we can give is to share our stories to these young people and create more awareness on HIV, malaria, TB, and mental health using our vocal words. So, go condom, sort of return transport. We don't have any support. Tukolanga fe bavubuka. Tubere ekyokulabirako tumanya. Katonda jjatukubako eddusu tulichinga ghettos endala. Ngafinga gwe osodoga kanonye McKenzie. Kitegeera. Nate waliwo ne bali abajja. For example, media. Media sector, they give you empty promises, never collect out of the blue. But what we call a charity. Because stories and zidi too deep. And so far, we as the Ghetto Network have reached to 5,000 young people living with HIV Mukamocha. 10 zones.
5,000
young people.
Between what age?
Between the age of 10 to the age of 23.
They are living with HIV and they are spreading every day.
Some are not spreading, because we give them condoms. Segera. Mulimu bali eri kati ngalabira ku McKenzie. Nagamba McKenzie obani wala bumwegomba n'ekisinzi buli mwala amwebakako. Segera waliwo unomanya how often do you share your body? Kale no twawo that age abana bali mu sex work nga mwana neko. Segera naga McKenzie nakalina okumpa kondomu zange juka buli kiraba akola. Segera kozala ba mama senga muganda we bona bali mu bwomu.
Ozijjawa
Tuzitambulira. Waliwo gena kwegana cares teziriyo. Nogena kumujju teziriyo. Wozijje. Segera. So tulina abana bali mu system ya baneko nenga mwana muto. Segera. Bamu family planning ekubye ekiiso. Segera. So lodges nyingi mukamweke. Kategera so nawe ka story akamu nalaba muwala munne namuyigiza how to use the condoms, the female condoms, and then other HIV prevention measures. Waliwo yatayagala condom nga waliwo empiso gye bayita PrEP anekendala ya PrEP nekizibu government esawa naye baliyagalako sente buli mwali funa. Segera bali wawuli ali needy. Government yaffe yagala bagenda kufa. Segera yagala bagenda kufa because bafudde buli mwaka nfiirwa.
Mu mulimu gwo ongambye ndabye ku gundi mpanvu. Thank you so much, you're doing a great job. Obwa condom ambassador, how would you do it?
I do it with my team, Ghetto network of young people.
How would you do the distribution? Have you moved out of town?
Every Saturday.
Muvuddeko mu Kamocha ne mugendako mu bitundu ebirala?
Tusobodde reachinga Kamocha zone zonna because every Saturday tuzigaba.
Every Saturday
Tuzigaba. How? We reach out to the sex workers, lodges, tugenda mu bibalabala.
Ngamba guno cause you are a condom ambassador. Bw'ogendako mu bitundu ebirala eby'eggwanga. How are people living with HIV? Oba abantu, how do they perceive condoms?
Abantu bamanyi condom bambaziwulira. They don't know how to use the condoms. Because ogenda kwewuunya nnyo nti waliwo oli wagifunye ya government. For example, wafunye busatu wabuna agenda bukozesa emyezi 6.
How?
Akozesa ono amayo akakafuna akabize having sex egwe azuke ku makya ajoze afune wajanika. And that's a deep mu byalo by'ejjinja. More information is needed on condom use. More information is needed on HIV. More information is
Mwabiraba, in your process of distributing condoms.
That was being the ambassador.
Ngoli ambassador.
Because condom distribution mukamocha tunafuna opportunity reaching ghettos endala.
Ogambye mwatuka mu kitundu ekimu ng'omuntu akozesa condom emu emirundi ena. Wow. Wano mu Uganda.
Wano Uganda. Ono oligoyinza tukako nagamba kino kikola kitya. Bakyambala. Bisegiranga. He needs how.
Kitegeeza ki?
Because condom oba ogifunye.
What does that mean to you?
What more work is needed and more awareness still and sensitization on those measures. Nawe game kale sawa zino waliwo mosquito net. Kale na mu ghetto ajabuwa mosquito net. Achiregi. Achitekemu ebicupa bya plastic. Scrap. That's central. Segera central Kampala. What picture do you get? More use. Ngachikozeseza ati. Because the news ones I do Kampala, I know more information. Nekati waliwo oli ayingire Kampala. Ngabayirieri. Ku border ze Masindi azenonya se. Bwe kyalaba segera omwadde net. Ne waswa wali kumpi n'omwala ali kumpi n'ettoyi. Siri buli size eyingira. Kitegeera ninga agitadde mu bicupa. Akedde ku makyafunye ekirwadde ekisujja kimukubye wali eri. Talina mugu mu kitundu. Oba omuntu alina national ID agenda omweyimirira ku clinic. Kiki oyinza omuyamba? Oyina mu creating more information, more capacity building, omubulira omugaso gwakyo. Embo oyina ojoza emirundi 3 n'ojanika kitegeera biri munda.
Ne government ekoze omulimu gwayo ebulidde abantu.
Government egabye bugabi sente.
How?
Our social work they're just there to write proposals, writing back reports. Segera bamwadde nets bisatu. Agatundako ekikumi aga. Sikada agabe bugabi. Akole report. They don't reach to the ground. And they just come to us mobilizers. Never to na kwa mtwaleji. Nina isa report na kuefana na umola. Government yinza obekoze ogwayo. Nekati waliwo wano ba middle people abatambulira mu V8. Isegera. Ngano okulaba oluma kukubira nakasemu. Akujjukira waliwo kyayagala ayiseewo. Isegera. Whereby even as we...
So McKenzie, where is your mother? Mukadde alirudde wa?
Mukadde gy'awaali. Mungu akyamwadde amaanyi.
Bw'awulira nti ofuuse bino by'ofuuse award ogifunye, how does she feel like? Awulira atya mukadde?
Kubanga mami yalowooza bansiba nnyumba yaye bansiba mbaki naye saa zino she's proud of me lansabira award zamuzizaamu essuubi naye wambira weegi yayita girabangako kantu kali mu glass kaliko erinnya lyake naga bana babifuna be bali abaserebu bayimbi so nange it gives me a good picture because yanfula changed. She's my role model. Yeah. Era says no era nga uyimanyi usungu kya namalwali togafa ku bakadde bafe because kyankyayinza okuwa covid system ebyajjawo balese vaccination bawe bakola ebekisiru ku center jafunako obujjanjabi nze mbita bya kisiru bamuteeka ku study sege whereby ebirwadde ebimwe ebimukwata it's back to the sun. But how is the sun? Financially. Whereby changing the kujira these government sectors we are ready to work and to fight HIV towards 2030 ngayo anyway yogera sege watu kemene mutukole tuli bayaite tuli banyu banjaga just bitulabika bulabisi and they judge us sege amba mu ghetto ina akauka. Is it going to be productive in my company?
Discrimination is really something very huge. Really so huge.
Yeah.
What advice or what recommendation would you give to government or any other human being? Njagalo munyonyole nti when you tell me something like that, ntonyimi omulimu ngenzi wano because I'm HIV positive, I cannot do this. Njagalo nsige ekifaananyi ng'okijja ku mutima nti this is how I feel.
I feel very bad. Segera nga tumpate those opportunities according to what I've been doing, and I'm doing it with love. Mayo kusanga kankwenge ekifaananyi kino osanze ekintu omusajja amaze okizimba, for example ennyumba erina ku plate naye abulako gikuba plaster. For you have been in the movie industry waliwo ebifo mu booking gwe noyisa movie kasiniko ne kagwa ninga omukolera renovation ninga wera bide still ayina ki. For example osobola okunsanga mu ghetto ne waliwo bali abankwatako ne documentaries ninga temanyi mama wange bwabeera temanyi bwe nebaka onsanze ku street. You don't know how you're going to live me ngenda kwebaka whereby chabade kirungi onsanze ghetto youth McKenzie twalako jobeera kale mama wange notamukwata bukwasi sinola ngeri mama wange gyebakamu n'ebintu byenkola. What reward can you give me? Never to do reaching. Because if I have a total number, a number that even the government wants, 235 and reaching, that's what you would.
So are you asking for an inclusion? In which sector?
In all sectors, mainly health.
Mainly health.
Kaina fe buche kumacha nga buli ghetto itamanyi waliwo youth friendly service bavubuka bana ebaliyo bakansala bana ebaliyo abalina real experience gyayitamu. Sikundetera mwana wa mugagga yafuuka doctor amanyi kola proposal na kutula computer na kuchima ifanana.
What position would you give yourself in the ministry?
Man, for me I want to be international.
McKenzie go Gambia. Oyagala inclusion.
Kale.
O Gambia.
Today.
Oyagala inclusion mu ministry. Nange nengamba kifo ki kiwandiyagadde mu ministry.
Sagala beera mu parliament because nawo sibesi.
Tugenze mu ministry.
Ministry. Bampe wachogere ntya. Kale buli ghetto. I'm the head in terms of health.
Chichi oyagala obakolera. Chichi bakuwadde omulimu mu Ministry of Health. You're in charge of all people in the ghetto living with HIV. Chichi oyagala otandika obakolera.
Ekisokebwako. Young people have talents. I've Philip Bongo Time music concert. This was the first edition. Tinayogedeko youth health friendly services. Nafa begabira counseling, HIV testing. Atuna units ghetto zenjawulo. Segera natugabira mu bisigade family planning.
Lwaki mwegabira counseling?
What the guys sodo okulaga ghetto network we are now like 9. Abasodo reaching at 350 young people. And even those 9 mulimo ambe tuwade capacity building and tono. Babulako qualifications, tulako registration.
Lwaki temwagala kanso oba okuwabulwa okuva mu bantu abala? Lwaki lwaki mwagala okwewabula?
Gavumenti yo yennyini esobola otuwa abakugu ne bajja ne basomesa abavubuka mu community yaffe.
Then they spreading.
Simple and easy. Where do you have that little knowledge?
So you need to be empowered with information, resources, mwenga ababugumyeko. Then mugende musasanya amawulire. Ekyo kimu. Ekyokubiri.
Ekyokubiri. More capacity building. Abantu ntya. Because la mu ghetto. And McKenzie seeing is innocent. In terms of nutrition, tulina bakyali baffe bakola modern farming, compost toilet, kitegeera. Kati omuntu ayiga engeri gy'asobola okulimamu greens, because ennyanya kati za bbeeyi, oyagala kulya kacumbaali, kwata akakuti akakadde, olimi, okoleka modern farming. Kitegeera, osobola okukwata pupu wo, n'ofuna manure. Kitegeera. All those are skills in the ghettos. But how are these young people going to get these skills? Through us. Also, to find that capacity building. Government negamba, bana bayeyo modern farming.
Let's empower them.
Agriculture, Minister of Agriculture and Environment. Reach out to the different ghettos.
Wow, you're such a great leader. And I like how you're reasoning. McKenzie, Uganda joins the rest of the world to celebrate World International AIDS Day. Bubaka ki bwandyagadde okuwa omuntu naddala abavubuka, 1 abawangala n'akawuka akaleeta mukenenya, 2 abatannaba kafuna.
Oyogedde ku World AIDS Day. And these past few years, newenkuze, there's a day, there's some back years nga nkyalina muto nga HIV abantu basobola okumanya this is World AIDS Day. But currently ne ku TV obulango oyinza oyitawo emirundi egyo. It's a Memorial Day. First day, esaawa zino sinti buli omu amanyi World AIDS Day lunaku lw'eriyo. Waliwo oli ajja gimanya nga ali mu nnaku z'omwezi 10. Era walwadde osinga esaawa zino osanga McKenzie ali mu preparation yategese olunaku lwa World AIDS Day awantu mu ghetto. Abamu bagala olaba ku TV. Simanyi na main event bagala giselebratingira wa. Ekitegeera. World AIDS Day is there and HIV is there and still kills. Ekitegeera. Kibanga luno olunaku lwa File Bongo Lutaya. Twabuuza abantu abamu nga tebamanyi na File Bongo Lutaya. Who is File Bongo Lutaya? Mu Central Kamoocha 10 zones. They don't know File Bongo Lutaya. Bafuna information of File Bongo Lutaya that he did. And what some few things that he did. It's a good. The McKenzie School of Maya, World AIDS Day, this is what they are going to celebrate. What do they celebrate on World AIDS Day? Mu Ghetto. It's a good. Nenga ubaka wange, tova ku status. Wamanyi status show, be real, disclose. We can still make a difference. We can be ghetto change makers. Ngale tulinze bali eri bennyini because bali bajjasanga kiwedde. That's what I know. Bagala numbers. Ne numbers zile sort. Gwatanezula gwan test. There are more HIV prevention measures. Watayagala condoms kugala mu malwale resistant kuli okumpi. Ne kufuna PrEP or PrEP.
Wow. Wow. McKenzie has sealed it all. All I needed to tell you, he has said it all. Go and test, know your status. Use HIV positive. Spread the information, but keep taking the drugs. Live with Simon Chris Makanga has come to an end, but he's one of the people I'd love to continue to work with so that we can spread the information about HIV/AIDS. Until another time, bye-bye.